Ladies and gentlemen, the manager of champions, Eric Nelson, here in Paradice Studios. With me as always, my brother, the King of Paradise, Chris Paradise, and our special guest, the legend among legends, the builder of Hall of Famers, Sergeant Buddy Lee Parker. Sir, it's an honor. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good to be here.
This came in from a fan earlier. Oh wait, we are live. Say your name for the camera. Are you there?
Oh, me? Yeah, it's Andrew here. Am I on too?
Yes, Andrew Interviews, the backstage announcer for Stranglehold Championship Wrestling, is joining us here live. He has a question for Sergeant Buddy Lee Parker.
Go ahead, sir.
Sergeant Buddy Lee, what got you interested in the industry? What was your inspiration?
Well, the thing is, my grandfather followed wrestling back in the day when they ran Griffin, Georgia, and then the Omni at night, and I've actually wrestled in the Omni. Me and my wife met. Believe it or not, we didn't go on a date till 8:05. So, yeah, Gordon Soley and, you know, all the guys, Ole, Jody Hamilton, the Assassin, he's trained me, and Nick Patrick is really his son. So, and Ole recommended me to go down there. So, and I always watched him when I was a kid, and I always loved his work. So, that's where I ended up going. So, I was trained by one of the best. I believe it or not, I trained, was it 3 months or something like that, and I had my first match on TV. So I picked it up really quick and did a lot of different things, you know, through the industry. I mean, stuff backstage and also wrestling, built rings, made 4 video games with EA Sports in Vancouver. So I've done a little pretty much of everything.
Now, at what age was that, Buddy? What age did you do? You know, your grandfather gave some inspiration and training. What age was that when you got that? You got that itch that you know you needed to scratch?
Well, probably around 10.
Wow.
I was 10 years old.
And
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about how you got the nickname Nature Boy. That's been
Nature Boy.
by several things.
This is Sarge, the Sarge.
Yeah, I was a state patrol, and then my partner got out, so I kept going. You know, and you can't give up on something, right? So, and one of my old sayings, "Go hard or go home."
That's right.
You know, so I had a lot of sayings. I jabbered through the thing, and I told everybody they were going to make it as a wrestler. You want to motivate them and drive them to do the best they can. Some of them, like Batista, took it wrong, you know, but instead of a lot of the stuff on me about whatever, it don't matter. It's over with.
Anyway, Andrew, we hate to cut it short. We need to get back to the podcast, my man, and we'll talk to you soon, all right?
Thank you, man.
All right. Thanks for including me in. Good luck.
Of course.
With everything.
I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, guys.
Later.
All right, so I remember watching TV as a kid. Everywhere you looked, it was WCW or WWF.
Right.
You were with WCW when the Monday Night Wars took place.
Sure.
You are responsible for creating the centerpiece of WCW Star.
That's
All
correct.
right. So if you could walk us through a little bit about your days in the power plant and tell us what your thoughts were when they introduced you to Goldberg and they said Goldberg's going to be the guy. How do you go about
Hold on
training?
camera for a second, because I got a prop to show everybody.
Well, I was at the power plant, you know, I'd have 20, 30 guys every month trying out. And then, oh my God, that's awesome. I've always been a big Georgia fan.
And this is signed by Goldberg, so I figured while we're talking about it, man,
Yep.
I'm going to let you finish because I had a question about Goldberg I wanted to ask you, sir.
Well, you know, and by the end of the second day, I'd have 5 left. By the third day, it'd be like 1 or 2. So yeah, I pushed myself super hard. Now they sent Bill down to me, and Bischoff was kind of standoffish about it. So believe it or not, I come up with about 80% of his moves. Come up jackhammer.
That was the
Nice.
question I was going to ask you. How did the jackhammer come about?
Well, he wanted to do something devastating, you know, and one thing I've always prided myself on is being able to wrestle, whether luchadors, big guys, or whatever. I think that was one of the biggest attributes of wrestling. But we were down there just messing around in the ring, you know. It had to be closed deal, and then we just messed around with some moves. What do you think about this? I've been thinking last night. Let's try this, and that's how the jackhammer come thing. The spear was his, and but I've always trained guys how to take care of themselves. Like when I went to Japan, Stan Hansen told me, "Hey, they're going to try you," you know. And sure enough, some young boys tried to take us over, and I pounded them in the ground, man. And I got, well, I'm going to say finishes over a tape recorder, you know. So it's very difficult. You had to figure out whether you speak English or not. So yeah.
Right.
So real quick, man, I want to go back to the power plant because you were 100% the guy. Any wrestler alive that ever went through the power plant, 99% sure they're going to mention how great you were and how hard you were as a trainer.
Yeah.
Now, I got a story to tell you, and we'll get right back to it.
Okay.
I was 13 years old. Power plant comes across the screen. There's a phone number there. I lived in Florida. I didn't live anywhere up here. Hello? Yeah, can I speak to Sarge? He doesn't talk to people by. All right? Anyways,
I don't know who you talk
a
to.
few weeks later, can I speak to Sarge? I really want to talk to Sarge. This is a damn Sarge. Who are you? And I was like,
That sounds like Jody.
I was like, I just want to know how much it costs to go to your school. How old are you? 13. Call me back when you're 18. I was like, oh my God.
That was Jody, definitely. I mean, he lived to mess with people. He's still going, I mean, him and his son's doing some stuff now, and he's old up there in age. I worry about him, but yeah, Ole's the one that sent me there, so I was in good hands.
Can you take us through a typical day? Let's say a Monday morning of you walking into the power plant.
Okay.
And what you expect?
Start with, I carved the week before, all week long. And then I had this big Quick Trip mug full of coffee. I get my wife to pick a fight on me before I leave, and I would leave late, so I was super hyped up. So as I walk in the door, I went an office to the left and stretched. And I got there late, so I was hoping they wouldn't know what my truck was, but no, they took they took it out on my truck. But anyway, don't matter. But then we stretch, and we'd start out with 50 Hindu squats, push-ups, leg lifts, running the ropes, you know, because I didn't learn anybody's name unless I knew they were going to stay there.
Right.
You know, so I gave nicknames to everybody. And then So
Probably some really,
it's like a whirlwind. You know,
probably some
kinda
really
like a
endearing nicknames too, right?
Oh yes, yes. But you know, I trained Mike Sanders, Alan Funk, just a bunch of guys. I mean, Stacy Keebler.
Oh, lucky you, man.
Yeah, well, I don't know. One day,
Did you train Troy Wilson too?
yeah, Tori Wilson.
She was my favorite.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just and it just evolved. You know, it just kept moving, and then finally Paul warmed. They sent me over there, and took it away from Jody, and Paul took it over. So it's more like a JoJo in Japan.
I got you.
Have them spray down the rings with a disinfectant. We was there the other day.
Yeah.
So spray down the rings, and I treat it like it was like it. I mean, I'm serious about the business. So
Right.
so that's how it happened, and then and then like I said, I have a bunch of guys to start with, and by the end of the second day, I mean I have one or two. But when we start off with Hindus, I'd always think some people need to learn how to run the ropes and take a bump, and don't expose the business, because that's why I'm here with y'all guys tonight.
Right.
Because we want to bring back the old school of wrestling.
Yes, we do.
I think it's definitely a
That's why I got
people
on
want.
that's why I got on the horn with you. I'm sorry. I'm sick of the carny backyard mud show bull crap. I'm ready for things to get back to the way they need to be.
Well, that's where
Because
we're at
as you can see
tonight.
behind you, only the strong may survive,
Yes, I
and,
do.
and that's why you're here.
And
Oh, and I got one thing to say real quick. World Elite, I know you're watching this. I have picked a man to lead Team Stranglehold against you, World Elite, and you're looking at him. He is going to recruit me an elite roster of killer machines, World Elite. Because remember something, Manager of Champions is always one step ahead. Back to the interview.
Okay.
I had to do that real quick.
Okay.
Because those guys have been a pain in my... You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They've really been a pain in my... It's taking away my talent, trying to win all my belts. But we got something in store for you. Anyway, so...
Alright, so
By the way, speaking of which, our esteemed booker wanted me to say leprechaun cupcakes on this interview.
Yeah, I put Logan through heck. Yeah, he didn't know nothing. He was a skinny little guy, and now look at him.
And I can't picture that, really. I mean, he's a killing machine
He
now.
was about 170 pounds.
Wow.
I had him to do a run out on one of my shows I produced, and I set up the ring lights, laser fog. These people had never shot wrestling before, so they didn't know how to change the camera angles. And I'm sad to say, my mother died on the way, had a heart attack, and I flew Jerry Toot down, and I had a bad place, so it's a hard decision. So I made the call and ended up wrestling twice, directing, tore it down at the end, and then rushed to Griffin, Georgia. That's where my mom was from. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
well, I want to ask you, go back to the Power Plant one more time. Paul White, the
Yeah.
Big Show, the Giant.
Yeah.
Did you train him?
Yes.
Could you tell us how you go? I'm not a big guy. I'm 5'10", and when I met you and shook your hand, you're about my size.
Right.
How do you run around against somebody the size of Paul White and teach him the moves without him trying to kill you?
I think he did a couple times. But, at the same time, I had Paul White, the Giant,
Right?
and Ron Reese. Y'all remember Ron Reese?
I do.
They're both 7'2".
Right.
Topping the scales, I don't know now. And I had Bill Goldberg all at the same time.
Oh my goodness.
And everybody was terrified of Bill. So, guess what? Who had to take the hits.
Right.
Yeah, and I was the guy that had to take it. So
That's awesome, man.
I'm just fortunate that I made it through the years, and I got to do so much stuff. It was unbelievable.
I had one thing. I was watching a video on you some years ago, where it was taking us through a day at Power Plant where you trained these guys. Where were those stairs at that you had them firemen carry each other down the stairs?
They were at the power plant we went to.
Oh, so was that the locker room stairs?
Yes, that was the locker room
Okay,
stairs,
gotcha.
and my office was underneath the stairs.
Right, and and the locker room was the top, and your office was here. So you would have them run with a guy in a farmer's carry
Up and down the stairs.
and they would trade places.
Right.
And then they would do it again.
Right. That's
That
right.
was that was one of the most intense things I think I've ever seen, and this is coming from a guy that was in the military. You know what I mean?
I was in the Coast Guard. So I
Right.
know
Well,
exactly
there you go.
what you're
See.
talking about. So
There's a lot of people out there been asking me that question. Was he actually in the military? Yes. 4 years Coast Guard.
yes.
So there's that question.
And then you said you became a state patrol?
I was never a state patrol officer.
Oh,
Okay. Bruce Hart, he's part of Hart family.
I got you.
Okay, they wanted a Southern redneck team. So me and my partner come up with the state patrol all on our own.
Oh, I got you.
And then we drove, they sent us airline tickets, but we heard of some bad habits happening up there. So we drove. My partner lived in Albany. He met me at home. We jumped, I had a brand new Pontiac Bonneville. So he didn't want to take his car. I understand that. But, and then we drove. We stopped a couple times to take a shower. That's about it. And then when I was sleeping, he was driving. When he was sleeping, I was driving. So we go up there, and Bruce Hart got his jaw broke by
It was Davy Boy.
Davy Boy.
That's what you
Yeah,
call it,
yeah. Davy Boy. It broke his jaw on the road, and we got to the border there. They didn't have any papers for us to really come in the deal or nothing. We had to sit there like 3 or 4 hours. And the show, we're looking at the thing, we're going, well, we're supposed to be in the Stampede Arena and wrestling pretty quick. Well, Stu got it straightened out, so we went by the place they were going to have us stay. We didn't like that. And then we got to the arena, and Bruce Hart wasn't there. He's the one who negotiated our contract for up there. But and then I went to Stu. I was like, Stu, you know, what's going on? So, kid, sometimes it's not what you make, it's what you save. So they offered us about half in Canadian money.
Oh, my goodness.
So we went out and wrestled, and then we wrestled for the tag team championship the next match, and of course we won. We was like, we'll see you in Edmonton. I was like, oh, y'all keep the belts. You know, I'm not sure about this, but anyway, make a long story short, we waited till we was in Montana. Stu called us, and we was like, sir, we can't work for that kind of money. We'd be up here, you know, a month, maybe stuck, whatever. And so we went back home. So we had 2 matches and drove all that way in 1 week. So when somebody tells me they paid their dues, you're not talking to me, because I have definitely paid my dues in this business, and I'm proud that I did. You know, I got the best trainer. You know, and I've seen Nick with the big guys even start to the match started looking bad, and he and direct them guys into their whatever and got the program done. So yeah.
So you said you went up to Stampede. Was you in the territory days?
I was, but fortunate enough, I was working at WCW then. Well, NWA, sorry, NWA.
Yeah.
And they allowed us to go. And we come up with the things. My mother was a police officer. So we hooked up with the state patrol badges. Everything was real. In fact, we've been stopped in an airport, you know, because you never check your wrestling bag, right? Because if you don't have your wrestling bag, you're not going to make any money back then. So we've been stopped. They're scanning our stuff through. Made us take out the handcuffs of the nightsticks, and then check that, and then we go on, and then hopefully the stuff got there when we got back. So
That's awesome.
yeah, and we actually come up with that, you know. So I think that a lot of people think that WCW come up with that or nothing. No, we truly own our name. So
That's pretty awesome, man. So with WCW, you had a lot of exposure, and you were able to get on national TV. Like, what would you call your highlight match? Like, if you could look at any match you had, what was your favorite one that you called a highlight?
oh man, I've wrestled everybody. I mean, Japan, Japanese guys, you don't know if they speak English or not. I mean, if you kick them hard enough, they're gonna let you know. Oh, dude, I say, I understand now, dude. But yeah, it's gone by like a whirlwind, and then I was one of the ones. Well, WWE's not going to do anything with WCW. You know,
Right.
the only guy that did anything with him was Booker T, right? So I kind of disappeared off the face of the earth. So I'm just now getting back where I'm helping you guys, and you're going to find this very interesting because they're serious about the business, and I've always been serious about the business. So we got a show coming up in Jacksonville, Florida. You remember the date?
Yes, that will be the 12th to 13th. We're going to be at the River City Wrestling Con. So not only will Sergeant Bailey Parker be my guest, but I'm going to have yet another sergeant, Sergeant Slaughter. So
I haven't seen him in a long time.
So you'll not only get to meet the legend builder right here, Sergeant Bailey Parker, but you'll also be able to meet one of the true icons of this business and of Americana, period, Sergeant Slaughter.
Well, just had to say he's a little bit older than me, but
Not by
I
much.
had them ask me, "Oh, you were Sergeant Slaughter?" No, he's this tall.
Your chin's not quite that big.
No. Well,
Have you seen Sergeant Slaughter's chin? I mean, it's massive. You know.
Yeah. Well, him and you know, he's a legend. You know.
Well, I mean, so are you.
So it was kind of when they say that, I kind of grin, you know, because he laid the foundation down, and we didn't try to steal from him, but because we were state patrol policemen, so we didn't. We took it as an honor, you know. Really, I mean, it was an honor to be, you know, asked if you're Sergeant Slaughter. I've had a few people ask me that.
Alright. But
So, let me ask this real
Sure,
quick
go
before we go. As you were coming up and you were using the Sarge name, was there ever tension between WCW brand and the WWF brand at the time because of the fact that you were using the Sergeant?
Well, I don't think there was. I really don't think it was. I mean, I didn't get no backlash or anything like that. And, you know, it's truly an honor, you know. So, legendary guy, right? So,
Absolutely.
it was my honor to be in the position I was. You know, and I made, I think you got some pictures right here. They're showing,
so this is from Vancouver, you say?
yeah, that's from Vancouver. That's me and Bam Bam Bigelow in the ring doing mocap work. But I actually made the video games for people out of the school. And then they sent them guys out there to launch it.
And
So-
here you are coming to the ring on Monday Night Nitro.
Yeah.
And of course, as you guys can see, we have our very own edition of the Sarge t-shirt. And we will have those available for anybody who's interested. And for a fee, we can even get the Sarge himself to autograph it for you.
Yes.
we're back. So where we left off with Chris Paradice and Sarge here, we're going to talk a little bit about one Diamond Dallas Page.
Oh yeah. Well, Diamond, he started out a little older in age than most people do, so I had to figure him out. It's hard to figure out somebody's personality till you really with them a while.
Absolutely.
And Dallas was inspired by Dusty Rhodes, which he inspired me too as I was a teenager. So anyway, I had to work around Dallas. He had bad knees and all that kind of stuff. And yes, he did squats. People, they Bill got just handed to him. No, I made everybody work for it, and I'm really proud of that, and I'm really proud to be associated with such class people like y'all, because y'all really want to make a industry change here where it's all been about Vince, and he's got writers, and then Vince cuts it off the last minute, changes it because he can't make up his mind. So
yeah, we're not going to do that here.
No. And is your wife wrestling?
She does. That's Brandy Scott Specker, for those of you who don't know. She sends her best. She had to take my son somewhere tonight.
Oh, I was hoping to meet her.
But she is very much looking forward to meeting and working with you as well, sir.
Yeah.
She's wearing your shirt today, too.
Oh, is
yeah,
she?
She is. And she's looking forward to making her come back very soon.
Yeah. And if she needs extra training and stuff, I got a ring close to my house.
I know you mentioned earlier we were going to do some charity stuff, which June 28th, the legendary Rocky King is hosting, along with Jeff Foxworthy, a golf tournament called Body Slam Hunger and Homelessness at the Cannon Gate Golf Course in Sharpsburg, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we'll be there to support that mission.
Yes.
I'm going to, for our exhibition, we're going to bring some new guys in from all of the United States.
Right.
Because I'd like you to personally evaluate them, sir.
Yeah.
Sure. Also, this will be a time for any of you would-be warriors out there who want to be professional wrestlers. You are looking at the new senior trainer of Stranglehold Championship Wrestling. You are looking at the man who built legends is now about to build the next wave of legends. So
That's right.
We're going to do our civic duty. We're going to body slam hunger and homelessness. We're going to help Rocky and Jeff Foxworthy achieve their mission. And of course, I got an extra special gift today, and I'm going to play it. This is from one Kurt Angle. So the event in question, MomoCon, because of COVID and everything, has had to move to May of 2022, which we will be there in pure form.
Yes.
Along
Absolutely.
with many others. And I'm going to play this for y'all. If I can get that up there. Turn the sound up. Because I want y'all to hear this.
Hey, this is Olympic gold medalist and WWE Hall of Famer Kurt Angle. Come join me Friday, May 27th at MomoCon in Atlanta, Georgia. I will be at the Stranglehold Championship Wrestling table, signing autographs and taking pictures. I will see you there. Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
So, that's one of many surprises that we have planned for them May of 2022. MomoCon will be making some special announcements on what should have been MomoCon 2021. They're going to hit you with a wave of great announcements. I wanted to give you a spoiler, something to wet your whistle with. To know that here at Stranglehold Championship Wrestling, we're not playing around. We're all about business. And our mission, of course, is to bring things back to the way they should be. Now, I have some good friends of mine, and what's the day of that show again that you're doing the seminar?
Oh, it's in Jasper's the 24th.
The 24th of May. Georgia Championship Wrestling, company I also came from as well. I was in the first wave of resurrecting the brand Georgia Championship Wrestling. I was the executive vice president. I chose to leave Georgia Championship Wrestling to start Stranglehold and go out on my own and build a new legacy for others to follow. But I do endorse Georgia Championship Wrestling, and come see Sergeant Buddy Lee Parker. And if you want to learn this business. He has offered a seminar at the low price of $25 a person.
I think that's fair.
That is more than fair.
So, y'all everybody needs to come out for that. You know,
Absolutely.
if you're interested in wrestling and stuff, and I know Jasper's might be a drive for you, but if you're serious about the business, I'm willing to help. So I'm not going to help them, but I'm going to help these guys here for all that we're doing. In fact, I want to bring up something. I got somebody reached out to me from California, and y'all know Cameron?
That's Mountain Man.
Mountain Man.
Right.
We're bringing relief disaster stuff. He's always in that, and he was trained at the power plant, believe it or not.
Right.
So we're setting up a page for where they could donate. They could donate to it, and I mean, all proceeds go to the
course.
the deal. I'm kind of doing it for my wife's a nurse, so I'm kind of doing all this for her. And
if I heard you correctly, you want to do this with us once a week on a regular basis.
sure,
correct?
yes, sir.
Okay, so we're going to have some guests start calling in. We're going to make some announcements. We are even discussing our future training facility.
Yes, yes, we are. And then I'm introducing some people that I trained, like Elliot Skipper, Alan Funk, and all them Natural Born Thrillers and all them guys to come out and help make a difference. And please be looking for Cameron. I don't have his website on me, but it's going for a great cause.
And we'll get the information out next podcast.
Yes.
And we'll make sure
Thank you.
everybody gets the link.
Thank you.
And we'll direct everybody where to make donations. Absolutely, Sarge. That's what we're here for. And of course, we're doing our own civic duty with Body Slam Hunter and Homelessness next month.
Mm-hmm.
After River City WrestleCon, after we celebrate the birthday of champions. What can I say? And that goes without saying. And like I said, so far it's an impressive birthday gift. So far, I just can't wait.
I'm excited about everything, guys, because you know this world needs a little help right now.
It sure
Yes,
does.
And if we can make a difference, that's awesome to me. I mean, I'm not really in it for so much the money. Well, that's a good thing too. But anything, I just want to give back. I want to give back wrestling companies. That's why we're together today. Is that we're no nonsense, man. We're shooting for gold, and you know, I used to have a saying, "Go hard or go home." Well, you go hard or you're going home. So I encourage y'all to be at both events and be with us to help these people. And I'm real excited about things. I'm super excited about things, and it's gonna be a great time. It sure is.
Well, with that being said, any closing remarks you'd like to add?
Real quick before we get off to everything, man, we were talking about Diamond Dallas Page.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hey, no. We love getting off topic. I'm telling you, that's probably our favorite thing to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
If we're going this way, we like the winding road, man.
Yeah.
Because everything tells a story. So we were talking about Diamond Dallas Page. You were talking about how you trained him. He was a little bit older than everybody. He had bad knees. You still made him do the squats. He worked his ass off. Now,
And a lot of influence from Dusty Rhodes, of course.
Now,
Teach him how to talk, and so.
real quick, did you see in him what he turned out to be? Because
Not in the beginning.
the term People's Champion was thrown around a lot back in the day.
Yeah.
But if you actually look at the People's Champion, the crowd was all about DDP.
It sure was.
He had a following like no other. Sting had the main following, of course the NWO. But when it got down to individuals that weren't Sting, DDP was the most popular wrestler in WCW and possibly the world at the time.
Without a doubt, right?
I think he was only surpassed by Stone Cold after the Attitude Era officially launched.
Right.
But DDP was the guy everybody wanted to see.
Yeah.
So did you feel like he had it in him?
Yes, I did. It took a moment,
Right?
but then after working with him and stuff, I said, well, this guy can do something. And I remember back when he was a manager at AWA, you know, and I loved AWA. I watched it all, you know, Georgia Championship, AWA, and different ones. But yeah, he's an awesome guy. I talked to him and Bill regular. Some people I don't talk to at all because it's what you've done for me lately type deal, unfortunately. But Dallas, man, he took off like a rocket, man. He gave them, they got their money's worth out of DDP.
So we're talking about Diamond Dallas Page. And if you want a diamond, we know where to send you.
Eric Nelson, manager of Champions here. If you want to see me buy suits, you see me travel the world, we're here. I'm at Lux, right here in the Mall of Georgia. Diamonds, gold, anything I want. And I come see this man for all my needs. Meet the Diamond Sheik.
At Lux Jewelers, you too can shop just like a celebrity. With the amount of celebrities that come through and shop with us, you will get a superstar experience. From diamonds to gold, silver, platinum, and everything in between, Lux Jewelers carries a wide variety of options to fit any budget. Come on in and get that superstar treatment that you deserve.
Because I don't settle for less, and neither should you. That's Lux, Mall of Georgia. Be for Georgia. So now the subject is a man that very few people know by this name, Terra Ryzing. But now in the world, he's the Game, Triple H, the man behind it all now.
Sure.
One of the top guys in this business today. And we're going to talk about him as Terra Ryzing.
Well, they sent me out to the airport to pick him up, and he's a big, huge guy and stuff. And, when he first got there, his work went quite up to par a little bit. So he worked with me a little bit down at the power plant and stuff, and really about one time when he was leaving to go to WWE, he looked 170, 175. Look what he become. You know,
Oh, yeah.
I'm very proud to say that I was involved with that.
One of the
too,
most
as well.
revolutionary figures this business has ever known.
Yes. You just follow him. I mean, you can see the followers that he has with him. I mean, and basically, the way I understand it, he might not run the company per se, but he has a lot of say so for WWE.
So, as he's, I want to take a step behind the spotlight for a second, man. As a trainer that trained these people, we talked about the Giant. We've talked about Diamond Dallas Page, Bill Goldberg. Of course, he's got to be like the biggest thing to ever come from WCW.
Oh yeah, and most people they think that match they saw with Hugh Morris was his first match, but actually I had quite a few dark matches with him. Disney, different other places, and we were selling to a monitor.
Right.
I mean, we weren't selling to the camera. So I had I had him doing all kinds of crazy stuff that I knew he'd never do. And look what's happened now. It's crazy.
So as a person who trained him, I want to stick on the Triple H subject for just a
Okay,
second. Yeah. But you see these people evolve and become what they become. We talked about DDP becoming the People's Champion. Like, there was nothing bigger than DDP and WCW other than Sting and NWO.
Yeah.
And they were the selling points. But if you got beyond the selling points, DDP was the guy. Everybody talked about him. If you were in school at the time, everybody, oh, DDP's the greatest, DDP's the greatest. All right, so being the guy that trained him, of course you become proud.
Oh,
All right, you
extreme.
become, Goldberg comes through there. Goldberg blew up like a rocket, man. I mean, oh my gosh. And then there's Triple H,
Yeah.
Terra Ryzing, and you see what he becomes. But I want to get your thoughts on the Triple H when he joined DX. Because you probably saw him, like every person else in the back of the locker room, but how nice of a guy he was.
Mm-hmm.
He was always polite. He was always checking in first, last one to leave. always wanted to dot his I's and cross his T's. Alright, then all of a sudden, like, you guys are in the Monday Night War. The competition is led by the guy that you trained. But like, for the most part, it was him and Shawn Michaels that evolved there. But when he started doing the crotch chops, and doing all the filthy stuff he did on TV, like,
I wasn't proud of that stuff either. But that's coming from Vince.
right.
And the writers and everybody that is involved in their organization. So, you know, he was probably doing what he was told to do, you know, whether he liked it or not, you know. And he's an upstanding guy, you know. And I know that reaching out to him was like reaching to the moon, right? But very down to earth, very nice, you know. Excuse me. And stuff. So I'm really proud to see him where he's at, and I'm proud to see all my guys where they're at, you know.
And I kind of want to piggyback on that. We have 3 of your trainees on this roster. We have Goth Black, which I have something special coming up with him very soon, and
I'd like to be involved with that too.
yeah, yes, definitely. And of course we have, well, you knew him as Frank the Tank. The world now knows him as Truth, the real Unstoppable. If you're out there, buddy, hit me up.
Yeah.
And of course my good buddy Noah, who the world knows as Tristan Hayes of the Forsaken, down there in the great state of Texas. And I know he's probably like, you know, when am I going to come back? You know, when you going to bring me back? I'll see you in Florida, my man.
Yeah.
But
We'll all be there.
That's it. But
We got a
it's
big
like,
roster coming, you know.
us having 3 of your former trainees and 3 guys that you speak highly of, or have so far, and of course the new wave of people coming in that want to aspire to become the next legends.
Yes. I'm really excited about that.
So am
right,
I.
guys? You know, some people don't think we give back, but the true cream rises to the top, you know.
Ooh, yeah, dig it.
So that's what we're doing here, paving a path through everybody and bringing everybody that ever wanted to be a wrestler. We're bringing a spotlight in the dark to you. So if you need to be there. So,
If you got what it takes, you're gonna make it. If you're not, well,
excuse me.
that's not our problem.
Yeah. You're gonna show up. I used to have a shirt that I had made, Body by Me, and it was true because I was a TBS employee. Built rings, drove trucks. One time I was in making a video game, and this is before 9/11, guys. And I was up there for 3 weeks. My wife met me at the airport. We changed bags. And I got on the red eye, flew into Hamburg, Germany. The guy who was supposed to meet me there, he didn't show up or nothing. Go figure. And so I said, take me to this hotel. It was a German hotel. I don't know if y'all have ever been, but
I've been.
agricultural wise, unbelievable.
Oh yeah.
And then I finally met up with him. I've never been a smoker or anything, but he was. I said, you gotta roll down all the windows. Now, we're on the Autobahn, flying.
Yeah, 130
He's
miles
talking
an
on
hour.
his phone, smoking. I'm like, dude, you're killing me. But anyway, so I finally get there, and he shows up the next day. We go, and we drive to Berlin. So he took me back. He wanted to take me out. And I was like, dude, I'm going to my room and order some room service and a couple of beers. And I'm good. So the next morning I made the pond jump over to England, and there was a long tram that you had to take, and then they had to take a shuttle bus to the hotel for New York versus New Jersey type.
Right.
So anyway, I flew to London. I was just sitting down with my food, breakfast, And I said, Dwayne Bruce, come to the front desk. Dwayne Bruce, come to the front desk. I was like, dadgummit. Okay, so I get there and his secretary's screaming at me, going, "You can't make it there. Traffic's too bad, too bad." I was like, okay. So I had to ride on the free service over to the train, go across London, and then we walked 4 blocks around. He had a Range Rover, and it had been booted.
Oh boy.
Figure that, you know. So we finally jump in a taxi and stuff. Oh, by the way, that Berlin, they had the ring set up outside. It was snowing.
Whoa.
So every time I've always been hurt because I was cold, you know. Even with the video games, they first had to set up in an ice hockey ring. I was like, somebody gonna get hurt. But anyway, did that. Finally made it back to the hotel. I'm looking up at the thing because I had an open ticket, and darn, I left one of my bags at the hotel. So
Oh man.
I went back, did the same thing, room service, that, jumped on a plane, and flew into Atlanta, Georgia, right into a tryout. So, yeah. So, pretty wild days, right?
So real quick, man, if you don't mind, you talked about the video games. Which video games were they?
There was 4 of them, but I think it was like Atari or something. No, I don't know. I'm not really into video games.
Was that the WCW versus WCW versus NWO?
Yeah.
Like Nintendo 64 days?
Yeah, that's
All
what
right,
it was.
so that would have been WCW versus the World,
Yeah.
WCW Revenge, WCW NWO Revenge, which was massive. That was the game that changed everything.
Oh yeah.
I was a kid when it came out. The World Tour was really good. Nitro was really hard to play, but Revenge came out, and it was the first one you could see them walk out with a belt, and it was awesome. As you can tell, I'm a belt mark.
Oh, believe me, if you want a belt, this guy's the one to see.
Paradise Customs, that's it. But we're gonna wrap up for this edition. Next week sometime.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
tune in next week, and we'll continue on with the wild world of wrestling video games.
And don't miss it. If you miss it, you got to be there. I mean, you got to be there to see the changes happening. So I encourage everybody that has ever been a wrestling fan or have been in the business and need some work to come meet us at these places so we can try to help you out.
And we're out.